All right. Call the commission back to order in open session, and thank Vice Chairperson Waters for getting the meeting off. We came out of closed session. Was there anything to announce?
There's no disclosable actions at this time.
Thanks, sir. Okay, with that, then we'll go right into the agenda and have the clerk call the first item.
Item number 2 is the PEG interconnection between Comcast and AT&T. This item is continued from our February 5th, 2009 meeting.
Okay, thanks, Aaron. All right, Bob.
Okay, Bob Davison, Executive Director, and I have some of what I think is very good news, and I know that this has been continued a couple of times, and certainly what we were maybe expecting was we would be having a hearing to somehow force the interconnection, and I'm happy to say that we don't have to do that today. The Comcast system and the AT&T system are interconnected, and in fact, since February, the 7 PEG channels have been showing on AT&T's product in the Sacramento area. So I think that's great news. I do appreciate the work from both AT&T and Comcast. You know, they've worked together, and I believe, and they could correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not sure I'm 100% right, but this is the first interconnection agreement since AT&T has been obtained a state franchise. So that's, I think, pretty good. And so anyway, with that, I basically recommend that you take no action. That and if you'd like to hear from AT&T and Comcast, certainly, you know, maybe we should allow for that.
Any other thoughts or questions? Good. Well, again, thanks to all who worked on that, and pleased to hear that report. So, okay, there's nothing further. I had no one signed up on that. I thank Tim in the audience. Thank you to AT&T and certainly to Comcast folks as well for working together, and nice to be first. Okay, with that, then we'll go into item number 3. Okay.
Item number 3 is an amendment to the 30 megahertz compliance agreement between the Cable Commission, ShareWest Televideo, and the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium.
Okay, good afternoon again. This is basically in 2003, there's a three-party agreement that your commission authorized between ShareWest, the SCCC, and yourselves that basically provided for ShareWest's participation in BestNet, the broadband for education. This was in compliance with the licensing requirement for 30 megahertz of bandwidth for educational purposes. And that agreement basically allowed for a certain a Ethernet connection that allowed certain district offices to be connected, and also provided that certain schools could hook up at a 10 megabytes per second rate, and many public schools, I think, through ShareWest have connected. Now, the attached agreement, there are some changes. A lot of high school and middle schools, ShareWest, with Comcast and not ShareWest. In fact, ShareWest had a requirement to hook up some high school and middle schools in their territory. And basically, with this amendment relieves ShareWest of that requirement, but adds an upgrade for elementary schools, either that have already hooked up or that are yet to hook up, that would provide for an increased higher speed connection that basically goes from 10 megabytes per second to 100 megabytes per second. The initial 10 megabytes per second hookup cost $1,000. The additional up to 100 megabytes per second connection would cost an additional $2,500, and that would provide that higher speed connection for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, that can be extended. And actually, there is a small correction to the staff report that was sent out in the agreement that was sent out. I want to point out that the agreement originally said that at the end of the 5 years, ShareWest will be willing to independently negotiate with SCCC or the school district a new agreement covering the faster service on terms that would reflect, and the agreement, the wording was market rates, and they've struck that out and have replaced it with the wording favorable terms. And that was just a minor issue where the final wording didn't actually reflect the agreement that both SCCC and ShareWest had agreed to. So this is still a three-party agreement. It's really negotiated between SCCC and ShareWest. The original agreement was a three-party agreement, and so that's why the amendment was structured in that way. And with that, I recommend that you adopt the resolution authorizing the amendment.
I know we have a speaker on this. Let me check with commissioners first. Any questions on this down here? Questions over here?
Move approval. Second.
Okay.
Our speaker.
Yeah, we do have a speaker. That's right. We have a motion, but we do have a speaker too. So, okay. Greg Linder. Greg?
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
And I just wanted to, before the commission, and say thank you to Sure West. We work with them very closely, and they're great partners on this, and we think it's a really good deal for the schools, and as well as thank the commission for all of your continued support of the year-round investment and for SMCT.
Okay, great. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for your work and SECCs as well. So, okay, with that, we have a commission and a second, and if unless there's any other questions, then we just do by the voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So ordered. Okay, thank you all. Next item.
Item number 4 is a status report of our upcoming meeting in May and PEG fee implementation.
Okay. Going to cancel the May meeting, right?
Yes, cancel the May meeting. There's a recommended resolution canceling the May meeting. The June meeting will be the budget meeting, which we think will be a fairly substantial meeting, probably typically are our longest meetings, but at this time we see no reason for the May meeting.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second and twice?
Okay.
We
also have, there's a few other items under staff status. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you want to vote on that motion, and then he'll...
vote on motion, so Bob's getting ahead of me here. Okay, with that, nothing further, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
I'm sorry, Chair Natoli, who made the first?
Machidi.
I did.
Okay.
And then you had a tie between...
Right, G. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, very good, thanks. Bob.
Okay, sorry for jumping ahead.
That's all right, no problem.
In my mind, I thought I heard a vote. But
You're just an enthusiastic guy.
Yes, I am.
Go ahead. All right.
The next item I wanted to talk about was the PEG fee implementation. Probably don't need to remind your commission, but at the last meeting, you adopted an ordinance basically calling for the imposition and collection of a 1% PEG fee. And there was some discussion about outreach and how we're letting people know, and we talked about the outreach we had up to that time. I do want to point out that May 1st is the date that this PEG fee starts to be collected, so wanted to update you a little bit on that. First of all, we have, and a copy of this letter was sent to all your members, but we've suggested language for the billing to basically explain what the fee is, and particularly put the commission's phone number if anybody has any questions about that. I believe, I know Comcast and SureWest have agreed to, Comcast and AT&T, I don't think there's a problem with SureWest. I don't know that I specifically have talked to them about it, but to include either a bill insert or put language in the bill that basically explains what the PEG fee is and who they can call if they have questions. In addition, I know at the last meeting we had already advertised the hearing in the B, but we're going to advertise outreach this issue in the B again before the May 1st implementation. And also, I know that one time I think Member Walter brought up that, what about the B internet site? And I think that we're going to also try to make sure that we have some sort of advertisement on their internet site as well. And as we did with the hearing, we had the Metro Cable Bulletin Board, and so we'll run a notice on the Metro Cable Bulletin Board as well. We imagine we'll get some questions, and we're going to prepare bullet points and just some facts to let people know about that call, and certainly, Karen will have that at her fingertips, and her staff will have that, and we'll email that around to all the board members and their staffs, just so if you get called, you could you could just refer them really to the Cable Commission, but if you would like, there's some basic information that you can also share as well. Okay. So with that, I just wanted to update you on that effort.
Okay. Any questions about any part of that? Okay, that was just a report, so no further action needed on that, correct?
No.
All right.
Can I just add something under staff status?
You bet.
Donna Wellborn wanted me to announce that there's been 2 switchers that have actually been a long-standing item that's been in your budget year after year, and we always seem to budget for it, and it never happens. And we always budget for it because it's a relatively pricey item, and so we don't want to have the need to do a switcher and then not have the funds and have to wait for a commission meeting. So you've seen it in your budget several years, but recently, and they were able to get a pretty good deal, though I don't have the pricing figures at my fingertips. These 2 switchers have been installed both here and also in the van, and basically it was a great product, got a good price, they're working great, and this is a change that basically upgrades the ability to present the content that they do on Metro Cable, and also with the digital conversion and such, it's just a more modern equipment that is going to help for any conversion towards digital formats and such. So anyway, Donna wanted me to announce that, so I thought I would mention that here.
Great, thanks, Bob. Thanks, Donna, too. All righty, if nothing else on item 4, thanks for the verbal reports. I don't want to sign up on that item, so we'll move right down to item number 5.
Item number 5, the franchisee and licensee general status presentations.
Okay, I know I had Marion signed up, and if others wish to, but I'll call Marion forward, and then anybody else, that's the only one who had signed up today, so.
Good afternoon. Marion Jackson, Director of Government Affairs.
Hi, Mary.
And I just wanted to let everyone know that I think everyone has a little flyer about our Comcast Cares Day. It's on April 25th. And this year, we've been doing this since 2001, and we have about 100 to 150 for each site this year. We're doing 3 schools in the area. Placerville is the charter home school, Elk Grove is the Donner Elementary, and Folsom is the Sutter Middle School. So I invite you all out. Any questions?
No, I would just say, I know in years past, I've had a chance, I'm sure other commission members may have as well, to show up, and it is quite a day's activities, because there's a lot of people working frantically and furiously, and there's materials being brought in. I know that the one I attended here a couple of years ago was they were redoing the playground area and the preschool kindergarten area at one of the schools in Folsom, Cordova, and it was just a flurry of activity, but a lot of smiling faces, at least early in the day. I don't know, maybe a little bit drained by the end of the day, but
Well, we feed them well, too.
yeah, you do. But again, I know much appreciated by all the folks, and it's certainly a good way for Comcast to show its commitment to the community in a different way. The employees show up in great numbers, and I know of community volunteers as well. So I just want to compliment you on that. So.
Thank you.
Good, thanks, Mary.
What schools again?
Include the Placerville Charter Home, Elk Grove is the Donner Elementary, and Folsom is the Sutter Middle School. And you can contact me. I think you all have my information if you need any further information on those.
Aren't both of those, though, the last 2, aren't they both Sac City schools? Am I wrong about that?
2 Sutter
Oh, okay,
schools.
okay.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
one
so-
in
so it is
Folsom.
full,
It's
okay.
the old high school, so it's
Oh, okay,
relatively
so
new
that's not the
name.
Sutter Middle School?
It's only
Okay.
been around about 7 years, maybe.
I didn't know they call it Sutter Middle School. Okay, got it. All right, very good. So we got 2 of those. So
Thank you.
thanks. Okay, any of the other franchisees wish to offer any comments today? Seeing none. Okay, very good. Thanks, Marion. Now it's the receive and file, so we'll go down to item 6.
Item number 6 is channel licensee and grantee status presentations.
Okay, with that, I have one signed up, Ron Cooper, and if there's anyone else here who wishes to speak, you can follow Ron. Good afternoon, Ron.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Ron Cooper, Executive Director at Access Sacramento, and I passed out some handouts while you were out of the room there, and just very briefly. The handout, the yellow handout is a copy of today's B article, and again, you're all invited to attend our local media discussion over at the Coloma Community Center. We've gotten good feedback from all sorts of folks, organizations and groups, individuals, media outlets, print, electronic, and the idea and the format of the evening is to raise issues of diversity, of how local media handles political coverage, and 5 major areas, and we'll address each of the principal media: radio, television, use of the internet, and also print, principally newspapers. And the idea is a novel forum to bring people together with media makers in order to have a dialogue that we've found over the last 3 years in working with the Sacramento Media Group and California Common Cause. There's a disconnect that's gone on over the years since the 80s and the disbandment of the ascertainment process. There is very little obligation, in fact some would say no obligation, in the licensing of radio and television to go out into the community and find out how they're doing. So this is an opportunity for us to try and call all parties together and have that discussion. We'll learn from it, possibly have it again, possibly tweak it. But we ask if you are available, and I know it's unfortunate timing for 3 of our supervisors to have another meeting out in the south area. I was going to attend that myself, but we have a conflict. So, but we'll have another one, and please do, if you can, attend, or if you have constituents interested in media coverage, please have them attend. The other events I wanted to highlight on the green sheet there, the process for our Place Called Sacramento Film Festival, again, the 10th year, is moving along, and this Saturday we have another script workshop on writing a doable script. Again, in 9 years out of 91 scripts that have been selected, 88 films have been completed. So this workshop helps the new people to understand how do you get that kind of a high percentage of completion, and certainly your constituents are invited. On the flip side is a fundraising event. Amy Goodman and Democracy Now! Is one of our more popular programs. Ms. Goodman produces a daily show that's seen on our channels at 6 p.m. and midnight each day, Monday through Friday, from their studios in New York. So this will be her only appearance in Sacramento, and she's generously offered to appear as a fundraiser for a new effort at Access Sacramento that I'll speak to more details, our neighborhood news bureaus. And so if you have that open date, Friday, April 17th for lunch, please join us for lunch with Amy. And as a fundraiser for, and then that's the white document there, a new project we entitled the Neighborhood News Bureau Project. And what this is about, and again, I know it's tough to read all this today, but if you do have occasion, please do read through it. This is a fluid document, but it envisions, in cooperation with a similar project funded by the Knight Foundation in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It funds a process of using the new technology, and we were referring to that before. How do you get the word out about Cable Commission updates and meetings and using the new media? Well, this is a proposal to use the new media to more efficiently and effectively not only get the word out, but actually acquire information at the neighborhood level. It's an ambitious project. It invites and involves participation from all sorts of folks. But hopefully tonight we're going to begin the process of hearing from individuals and organizations how they're doing, what they like, what they don't like about the current process. And we'd like to also thank the cooperation so far of many organizations, but very importantly, Dave Walker and Lois Hart, who are as of the last Access Sacramento board meeting, working together with us to put together applications for grants and foundation funding to pursue this, not out of any sense of personal gain, but out of a sense that they are very conscious, I think, as we all are. There's a real collapse going on in hard-hitting investigative journalism, and so they are working together with us to pursue that and to pursue integrity in journalism and the maintenance of that. In that same vein, we've now had a successful meeting with Melanie Sill, the editor-in-chief at the Sacramento Bee. This is a radical, revolutionary time. It truly is. Media is changing in so many ways. We're reading about newspapers collapsing. I think everyone in the region, you may agree or disagree with the Bee, but you can't envision a day without the Sacramento Bee, at least to argue with. So one of the things that this does present, in addition to challenges, is opportunities. So we appreciate the opportunity to explore new ways of working together with the Bee. We already have a community blog called Community Media Sights and Sounds on the Our Region section of the Electronic Bee on a daily basis. Within a matter of weeks, that will evolve into a full page called the Access Sacramento page on the Electronic Bee, and this will be a model hopefully for other communities in the region. All the way down the other direction to establishing training programs to develop what we call community correspondence. So each of you and all of your constituents, just think of all those folks that say, doggone it, we're doing a wonderful event, the media doesn't cover it. Doggone it, they're only talking about bad news in our community. Each of us defines ourselves in terms of many communities. Just imagine if there were community correspondent storytellers from each of those communities, go through training, learning, blogging, and also contributing to this new world of electronic news gathering. So it's an ambitious project. Again, it's a work in progress. There's lots of things to do, but we think we're pulling the pieces together, and particularly the partnerships together that make this all feasible. So it all starts tonight. If you can, drop by at 6 o'clock at the Coloma Center. If you have any further questions or ideas or suggestions about any of this, please give us a ring. It will only work with the community's total involvement, and we appreciate your ongoing support.
Well, thank you, Ron. Thanks for the update. Obviously, got some exciting projects right on the cutting edge, it sounds like. Any comments or questions of Ron? Good. Well, thank you very much, Ron. Good luck to you. All right. Anyone else? If not, that takes us through that item, and we're down to item 7, which is public opportunity to discuss matters not on the agenda. Anyone here wish to address the commission on any matter not on the agenda? Seeing none. If there's any comments from commissioners? If not, good time, I guess, to call this to a close, and we'll see everybody back with June.
June, the date, first Thursday in June.
June?
We got it.
June 7th?
Go ahead. Do it.
Somebody, come on. June?
That would be June the 4th.
June the 4th. See you all back June the 4th, 2:30 in these chambers. Adjourn. Thanks.
They don't give you guys.